Yesterday, I was getting ready to start painting on my big aspen piece again and realized that I still needed to finish cleaning my brushes and my palette because, again, I had put that off. So I used Turpenoid Natural to clean my brushes. This stuff right here. Turpenoid Natural. I have a tendency to put an S on the end. There is no S. So Turpenoid Natural. Been using that a long time, since about 1994 and 95. And I had quite an adventure with ordering some more. So I thought I'd tell you about that today. And for those of you who use Turpenoid Natural, I know a lot of our members do. So just want to give you a little bit of a heads up. So in this video, I'll talk about my adventure with trying to order some, the reason I use Turpenoid Natural, and where you might find it. All right, so let's get to it. So Turpenoid Naturals, it is completely non-toxic. Like they use it in elementary schools kind of thing. Doesn't matter the age, it's completely non-toxic. There are no fumes from it, nothing about it. You get it on your hands, it's not going to hurt you. If you drink it, I wouldn't suggest it, but it's not going to kill you. You might not, I don't know what it's going to do to somebody. Now, if somebody has an allergy, that's completely different. Allergies, we can't, those are the outliers. But as far as overall, it's not going to hurt anybody. There's nothing harmful about it. That's why I've been using it for so long. And it's great as a brush cleaner because it will take I have a problem with, I don't like to clean brushes at all. It takes me about an hour every time I finish a painting, and that's just one of those things that, with busy work that, yeah, first world problems, right? I know that it's a privilege to be able to paint and all that, but I really dislike cleaning brushes. So I put it off sometimes for a long time, especially when I go on plein air trips or something like that. I come back and all my brushes are in my brush containers, the things that I use for traveling to protect my brushes. And sometimes when I get back, it might be days or a week or something before I get to those brushes and clean them out. So now a lot of times I'll take and dip them in like walnut oil or something like that so that they won't dry out as quickly. But overall, the paint oftentimes dries up on me. And if that happens, this Turpenoid Natural, I just dip it in the Turpenoid Natural, tap it on my palette a few times to kind of get things moving a bit. Or if it's too hard of paint, I just dip it in the naturals, set it on my brush holder right here. It's slanted, so the brushes slope down like this, so that the Turpenoid Natural doesn't just drift on, because if it drifts onto the handle of the brush, it is going to dissolve the paint on your brush, or it's going to soften it, loosen it all up so it comes right off. So it does the same thing it's not necessarily as great for acrylic paint. It doesn't work as well on plastics at all. In fact, that's why they can put it in a plastic container. But on oil paint, it completely will soften up any old oil paint and clean it right up into the ferrule. I mean, right up there where you get close to the ferrule, I should say, where it's often, builds up and makes the brush not as responsive. It cleans that out so well. It's wonderful. Even Simi from Rosemary Brushes, which is where I buy most of my brushes now, even she recommends getting Turpenoid Naturals for the brushes, because not only does it clean out the oil paint really well, but it also conditions the brushes beautifully. Keeps that razor sharp edge that we like to have, keeps the brushes in as good a shape as we can get them. So, and that's all I use now. I don't even wash my brushes with soap and water. Just use the Turpenoid Naturals. So let's get back to finding this miraculous product. Oh, by the way, as far as using it as a medium, I would not recommend it. It says that you can do it, and it'll tell you the kind of proportions to use. But in the 90s, I was in a gallery up in Aspen, Colorado, the Pam Driscoll Gallery, and I got a commission for a 50 by 30 inch waterfall painting. So big old piece, and I should say more like that, a big painting. And I thought, you know what? I just saw recently, I'd been using the Turpenoid Natural for cleaning my brushes, but when I saw that about the using it as a medium, I wasn't really a medium kind of guy, painter. I had tried Liquin and a few other things, the Damar varnish that's in the Ralph Meyer handbook, made my own stuff and tried it out. Just never really felt like I needed it, and it didn't appeal to me too much, especially the Liquin, the way that worked. Anyway, I talked about some of that in the past video, last week's video, but I thought, well, you know what, this might, on getting a big painting like that, maybe if I use it in the beginning instead of instead of mineral spirits, it'll be better for me, maybe healthier. So I tried that out as kind of doing my washes with it. Big mistake. So, and really a big mistake to try it on a commission piece and to do that for the first time. That was not a brilliant move on my part. Unfortunately, I've had some of those. But I did learn a good lesson from it. The painting, after 3 weeks, was still tacky. It never dried. So mediums have a great effect on paintings as far as a lot of mediums, we really don't know, at least from the research they've done so far, they don't know the long-term effects of a lot of these things that we're using. They know some things really well, other things they don't know at all. But one thing that we do know is that if something, a lot of these things like these mediums, they will, in the long term, especially if we get the wrong amount in there, but even just a little bit, can cause the paint film to become much softer even after it's fully dried. After it's fully cured, we get a much softer paint surface, and it is more susceptible to solvents and when they go back to clean the painting, or even just with the environment around us, becomes more susceptible to moisture and solvents like mineral spirits or turpentine or whatever. It's not as strong. So with Turpenoid Naturals, it definitely softens that paint film. And I don't know the long-term effects of using that as a medium. So I would suggest you just not do it. You're better off not doing it. So let's get now to buying Turpenoid Naturals. I buy it in the gallon container. Went online. Nobody was carrying gallon containers anymore. I just bought some from Utrecht last April. And Utrecht now has been bought out by Blick, Dick Blick Art Supplies, and so they don't have that anymore. So Utrecht and Blick are basically the same. They're the same company now. So went on to Blick, and they don't have it in the gallon size. They just have a quart size, which is 32 ounces or 946 milliliters. So I went to Blick first and found that it was $20.98 right here for a quart. $20.98. So last year when I bought it from Utrecht, it cost me $57 for a gallon. And now it's $20.98 for a quart. So as you can see right there, then I went to Jerry's Artorama. $22.49 is what it cost at Jerry's. And then, so I kept going all over. I thought, okay, maybe locally I can go and just pick it up. And maybe Michael's will have, like with their coupon or whatever. But no, $42.99, they're out of stock, so that wouldn't have helped me anyway. But 32 ounces a quart for $42.99. That, I don't know how they're out of stock, because I'm not sure why anyone would buy it from there in the first place, being that expensive. Then I thought, okay, so something's going on. Maybe they aren't producing it anymore in that big of a container. So I went to the Martin F. Weber company. They're the ones that produce the Turpenoid Natural, and they produce Terpenoid mineral spirits, which a lot of artists love. I don't use Terpenoid mineral spirits because I prefer the Gambling Gamsol, but a lot of artists really like it. But here's what we found there. Yep, it's still on their website, unless, of course, they just haven't updated their website and something's happening with it. But you see on here, this is why I like it. AP, non-toxic, non-flammable, no harmful odors, safe for all ages, will not irritate skin, effectively clean and gently recondition brushes, rinses out with plain water. They've got all the good stuff on there, but something's happening where it's not available. I don't know what's going on there. So I tried one more place thinking, all right, well, maybe there's just some reason they don't have the gallon. So I went over here to Amazon Prime, and yes, they have it in the 946 milliliter bottle over here, and which is 946 milliliters, 32 ounces, or a quart. So they do have the quart size, but they don't have anything bigger than that. That is it. It's the biggest one they've got. Nobody has bigger than that, unless, let's see, actually a 2-pump bottle. Oh yeah, I checked the 2-pump. I was sitting there clicking on it like I'm sitting here on the internet. I clicked on that and it said out of stock. All the biggest ones are out of stock. So I did find it at the Artist Supply, and there we go at the size of it. Oops, nope, not that one. So I found it at, I actually started this blog. I started the blog and this video yesterday afternoon and finished it today, had the video all done, everything was ready to go, the blog was done, and I was just getting the final links to put into the hyperlink stuff. Because I had made this order right here, Turpenoid Natural gallon. I thought this is going to be a great thing to share with our members, because we have a lot of members who use the Turpenoid Natural to clean their brushes. And so if this is the only place you could get it for a gallon size, I wanted to make sure that everybody knew about that. Now, if you notice there, their can right here is metal. And the new containers here are plastic. So I figured it was probably old stock, which is just fine because the stuff doesn't go bad. It's going to last forever, so I wasn't too worried about that. And at $40.20, I decided, you know, I'm going to get a couple of them just in case something's going on. And I don't think this has, I really don't believe that this has anything to do with the situation in the world today with this pandemic and everything that's going on. It seems like this is just something that's happening. Turpenoid Natural isn't one of those things that people usually buy in the gallon. I don't think there was a big run on Turpenoid Natural when everybody started to, you know, go after building up supplies or whatever, food and all that. So this isn't one of those things that it's just suddenly everybody's clamoring for it, I don't believe. So something's going on out there, just don't know what it is. I'm going to call Weber here eventually, and when they're open. Everybody seems to be closed right now, unfortunately. So I don't know what's happening with it, but this one I figured it's old. They probably don't have a lot of it. So I ordered 2 of them, and that would get me through at least a year or 2. And so in ordering 2 of them, there's a shipping cost involved in that as well. So $54.51. It's coming from Pennsylvania to Indiana. That seemed like a kind of a high shipping cost, but I thought that's all right. I think to get free shipping with them, it was going to be somewhere between $400 and $500 worth of stuff. I actually had looked at buying, they had a bunch of the natural pigment products on their site as well. I thought, oh, I could probably just order it all together, and I decided not to. I'm not sure why, but I decided to just order the natural pigment products straight from Natural Pigment's website. So fortunately, that's not in this order, and I'll show you why here in just a second. You got a brief glimpse of it just a moment ago. So $54.51, 2 of them at $79.92. I mean, 2 of them at $39.96. The total was $134.43, which was anywhere from $30 to $35 less than if I ordered it from Blick or from Amazon or any of the other companies that had it. Because ordering quarts, the cost was ridiculous. So I thought, good deal. I'm saving myself some money. Maybe I can help our members save some money as well and get the word out to them. But then when I went to finish up the blog today and get the links, I realized I forgot to get the link for this one. So I went to grab that link and clicked on, I went back to their website and couldn't find the gallon size stuff. And I searched all over and thought, they don't really have an intuitive search mechanism in there. They have like 3 or 4 different natural pigment products listed in there, and it's as if they're all coming from different places. It was really odd, but none of them were the gallon size. They had one that was a half gallon size. So I went to Google history, went back to my order, clicked on where I actually ordered it, and clicked that link, and it was gone. And so then I started getting that sinking feeling that something was up. The jig is up. So I went to my email to just check, and this is what came in this afternoon. Dear Bill Inman, this message is to confirm that your order has been canceled. A refund if pending will be issued shortly. I didn't cancel that order. They must have canceled that order because they realized they didn't have the product in their inventory. Not the best inventory checking system there. And I thought that this email was a little bit odd, that's it. Considering they're the ones that canceled my order, I thought there would be something more like, Dear Bill Inman, we are so sorry that we don't have this product in stock. We thought we did. We have refunded your money, something like that. But this message is to confirm that your order's been canceled. That was a bit odd. So, and if you notice here, it says orders at s3stores.com. S3 Stores, if we go back to this other one here, where is it at? This one right here. You can see artistsupplysource.com, a division of S3 Stores Inc. It's a company out of Canada, which usually everything the things that I deal with in Canada are usually top notch. So I'm really surprised at this one. Must be, it's a division of something else. So it sounds like it's just one big giant conglomerate of businesses. Probably not the best place to shop for things. So I will not have them on my recommended go here list of businesses. So if you want to order the Turpenoid Natural, I would suggest going to Amazon. Now Amazon's prices go up and down, so that price that you saw here today might be changed at any moment. And of course right now things are difficult to order as it is for everybody. Unfortunately, it's a sad situation in the world right now. But if they have it in their warehouse, you can still order this. I don't know what's happening with Turpenoid Natural overall. I'm really hoping that this isn't a permanent situation, that maybe they just got back ordered on their gallon size stuff. So there you go. That was my adventure. Had everything done and ready to go. This video was all done. I had to redo it. Very disappointing when that happens. But I hope if there's a place that you know where you can get it at a better cost than that, if you know somewhere to go, please let me know. That would be fantastic. And this is something that I've been using for so long. Now there are some other options, like safflower oil is a great option. That's one of the main ones that Simi recommends if we're not using. So Rosemary Brushes, they actually talk to a lot of artists out there, and they ask them about what they do to clean their brushes. She recommends against soap and water. Now that's knowing that a lot of artists do use soap and water. The soap and water strips the oil out of the brushes. The Turpenoid Natural, it cleans out all of the color completely, and it conditions the brush at the same time. So it's fantastic. Some other things that you can use if you don't want to use soap and water, and you want to stay away from solvents like mineral spirits to clean brushes, or some of the other brush cleaners that are out there that are also have those vapors and toxic fumes. Safflower oil is good for it. Walnut oil is good for soaking a brush in to keep it moist for a while, but it's really not a great one for cleaning the brush. Any oil just about will clean another oil, but it doesn't, it cleans it very slowly, and it's difficult to get all of the color out of there. That's why I like the Turpenoid Natural. Murphy's oil soap is an option, and a lot of artists use it. I'm just, like we talked about with the what mediums can do, I'm concerned that even a little bit of that Murphy's oil soap would not be good to have in my brushes. So I don't want to use that when I'm going to take those brushes right off and paint with them. With the Turpenoid Natural, I'm not worried about that. I know that I don't want to use it as a medium because I don't know what that's going to do to the paint film in the long haul. But in the amount that is, after I've wiped that brush off with my paper towel and really squeezed all that Turpenoid Natural out of it, the little bit that's left in there isn't a big deal. That's not going to hurt my paints in the long run. It's so diffused. I don't have any worries about that. Now, it is possible. Anything is possible when it comes to art materials. We just don't know a lot of these things. But the likelihood is very slim that it's going to affect it negatively in the long run. So my recommendation is if you're trying to stay away from toxic solvents, which for the most part I am. Once in a while I use some mineral spirits, but not very much. So if you're trying to stay away from the toxic solvents, grab some Turpenoid Natural, maybe while you can, or use like the safflower oil is one of the better oils for cleaning brushes. And I think Gamblin has a good safflower brush cleaner concoction. So it might just be safflower oil. And if that's the case, if it's just safflower oil, and you could probably go to the store, grocery store, and get some safflower oil. It's not, I wouldn't use it for painting with because it's not refined the same as safflower oil for painting. And the same thing with walnut oil. You don't want to get the unrefined stuff out of the grocery store because it does make a difference when it comes to painting. There are, there's some science behind that. I don't need to go into that. But anyway, it's fine though for cleaning your brushes. And so for what I'm going to do now that I know that this might be either being phased out or something, I'm going to probably start getting safflower oil, cleaning my brushes with that, getting the majority of it out of it, and then if I have to get the last little bit out, I'll use the Terpenoid Natural to really clean it thoroughly, because it keeps that all the way up to the ferrule. It just keeps it so nice and clean, and nothing dries in there, and my brushes are just as responsive from day one as they 10 years down the line as they are on day one. It works great. All right, so good luck with that, and have fun. And let me know if there are places you go to find art supplies that work out really well for you. All right, happy painting.